Well, it happened. 2 months ago today, BBC Three was taken off linear TV and became an online-only video service, going against 300,000 pleas across 2 consultations that it stay a TV channel. I never thought the BBC, this country's leading broadcast firm, could be so ignorant and uncaring to us over this issue. What they did was very underhanded, and they were clearly planning to go against us no matter what. I've already done a video on this, but this issue is annoying us so much, I just had to make this follow-up video. As I'm sure you're aware, even after February 16th, BBC Three retained its TV channel, only to tell us that they've moved online. Yet, also broadcasting 2 hours of assorted programmes between 2 AM and 4 AM, which stopped at the end of last month, and now there's no BBC Three on TV at all anymore. I'm confident that you've complained to BBC Three themselves regarding this, but they've been very ignorant and very shameless, boasting that moving online was a natural move for them and that it's the best thing they've ever done. Even though they clearly don't actually care about what we think, they still say we're listening, and even though we're telling them moving online is a terrible idea, they still say come check us out online. They even did a video of some fat guy explaining BBC Three's move online, and in response to the backlash, they even did a Your Harshest Tweets video. By moving BBC Three online, the BBC have lost my respect completely, and it wouldn't surprise me if you no longer have any respect for the BBC either. I no longer watch any of the BBC's TV channels, and I've avoided going on their websites at all costs. As a way of showing I was serious regarding this, shortly before BBC Three's final full night on TV commenced, I declared that I would be watching Danger Mouse on CBBC one last time. However, my complete boycott of the BBC will still have some exceptions. I will continue to watch and donate to Comic Relief, Sport Relief and Children in Need. And I will also continue to watch Euro, the World Cup, the Commonwealth Games and maybe Sports Personality of the Year. However, I have Sky, so I will watch the Olympics on Eurosport. If any of you lot from the BBC are watching this, if BBC Three moving online was such a good idea in response to its target audience watching more stuff online than on TV, then tell me, why have you gotten so much negative feedback over this? How come ITV2 and E4 experienced growth over the past year? And how come Vice, the online-only video service you wanted to copy, are launching a Viceland channel on TV? I've also heard stuff about BBC One and BBC Two having to air more young persons content due to BBC Three's closure. But really, do they really think they can tempt us back after all the betrayal they've done to us over BBC Three's closure? Do they really think a Robot Wars reboot hosted by Dara Ó Briain will tempt us back? Didn't think so. Also, as a result of an FOI, Freedom of Information, if you don't already know, that was taken out on them, it was revealed that a consultation, not sure which one of the two this is, or if it's how much both of them cost each, cost £120,000. £120,000 to ask us if we want an online-only BBC Three or not, take in our refusals, and then tell us, tough luck, it's moving online whether you like it or not. Pathetic! That £120,000 could easily have instead gone towards keeping BBC Three a TV channel. It's not the biggest amount of money, but every penny helps. I'd also like to add, how can the BBC kill BBC Three, a channel with a 1.16 rating, yet carry on with BBC Parliament, one of the least watched channels in the country, with a rating of only 0.05? as if it weren't a perfect enough analogy that BBC Parliament is one of the least watched channels in the country, it is also one of the BBC's only 2 channels not yet available in high definition. The other is the BBC's Gaelic language service, BBC Alba. It also happens that BBC Three are classing their online-only transition as a success. Apparently, Cuckoo and 13 have each received about 2.5 million requests. I'm pretty sure this is cheating, as those 2 programmes have also had presence on TV via BBC One and BBC Two. BBC Three don't seem to be taking into consideration how much attention their online-only videos are getting, which I hear are very low quality. If I ran the BBC, I would do an excellent job of it. Not only would BBC Three still be a TV channel, it would also be the first BBC channel to broadcast in ultra-high definition. Also, I would axe BBC Parliament and replace it with BBC 3+1. At the end of the day, I am just angry. A reputation is something that takes a lot of work to earn, but make one wrong move or 2 and you will lose it instantly. Our only hope for the time being is that the BBC gets a much needed change of management, whom will restore BBC Three to TV, and fire those idiots who think moving it online is the best thing ever. Unless this happens, we shall continue to boycott the BBC. Get #BoycottBBC trending on Twitter, and continue to show the BBC that we are serious about this. Unless things improve, I will wish for a future where there is no BBC at all, and all their programmes get given to other broadcasters for free. This would mean Doctor Who on ITV, Top Gear on Channel 4, Robot Wars on Channel 5, etc, etc. The BBC have clearly shown that they just don't care, and need to be given their comeuppance sooner rather than later. As I said at the end of my last video, if the BBC won't care about how we feel regarding the BBC Three situation, why should we care about how they feel?